Hey, it's AFC Championship Eve. The Denver Broncos are welcoming the Patriots. We're going to break down a lot of this game. We'll be back again tomorrow, right before the game, but we're going to break down a lot tonight. Maybe we'll have visions of STIDDY touchdowns running through your head. We'll get all of it coming up next, right about now. Uh-oh. 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 Let me cue this up one more time. Sorry, everybody. Oh, goodness gracious, Broncos country. Welcome into the Denver Bronco Roundup podcast. My name's Keith Brugman. I'm the guy stumbling through the intro. I'm the host. Maybe I should just turn this right over to Mr. Jody Moncrief right off the bat, man, because yeah, it's a rough beginning, my friend. Jody, thank you so much for joining us in, man. It's AFC Championship weekend. We got the judge, Jody Moncrief, and yeah, it's ready to roll, buddy. I'm seeing we're having some issues over on Facebook. That's another reason I'm trying to get this all sorted out. So I'll let you take the mic and tell me just how excited you are about the Broncos, this AFC Championship, New England Patriots coming to town, and man, it's the eve. It's right around the corner, my friend.
I'm excited as can be. From the highest of highs Saturday night to the lowest of lows in about 2 minutes when I read Bo Nix broke his ankle. But when you listen to Sean Payton, he said, "Steady, you'll be ready. Just watch out. Watch out." So I think he's going to draw this up. There's a reason that this was the first guy that he went and got free agency. There's a reason that he set Russ the last two games of the season. There's a reason Stidham re-signed here. There's a bunch of different reasons why he's here. He fits this offense. He actually, to be honest, probably might fit it a little bit better than what Nix does. He doesn't do everything Nix does, but standing in the pocket and being more comparable to Breeze, he probably is, if that makes sense in the pocket and stuff. And I've had some people try to clown it a little bit, but I thought he balled out in preseason. I know that's only preseason, but there were plays against the 49ers where he, checked into the right pass protection. And, I'm more about ball placement and different things. And when he's dropping dimes where like Nix was last week, the 2 to little Jordan Humphreys, where he just barely lifted his hands like this and it just fell right in. Or like the touchdown to Mims where they just drop right in the bucket. So I'm excited. Whereas healthy, I mean, obviously Bo Nix is out, and Troy Franklin is questionable. But other than that, we're as healthy as can be. Really, you're getting Wattenberg back. I'm going to exclude Dobbins. I mean, you've won every game but one without him, so you haven't had him half of the season. So it is what it is. So I'm fired up, and last thing I'll add is I expect them to get after the left side of the Patriots O line, the two rookies, and Josh McDaniels better have something dialed up to either help pass protect or get the ball out quick, because I think Drake May's in for a long day.
All right, everybody, that's the podcast. Jody's let us know. No, I'm just kidding.
We'll
Yeah.
see you guys tomorrow.
We'll see you guys tomorrow. We appreciate it. Jody, you had a lot to say there, man. And I agree with a lot of what you were talking about, man. But I'm going to back you up just a little bit, man, because, yeah, Bo Nix goes down. Obviously, this fan base is absolutely rallied around Jarrett Stidham. Stiddy up. Let's go. It's time to roll. And it is pretty amazing, in my opinion, the way that we've kind of reacted to this. We haven't taken the role of pity us. A lot of I know we continue to move on, and a lot of teams have, including our last opponent, has been very much in a pity us type of mood as of lately. The Broncos, took this on. They absorbed it. They rallied around it, and they're ready to go out there, and they're ready to play with their backup quarterback with really just as much confidence as I would expect that they would have going out there with Bo Nix. It doesn't feel like it's stepped down. If anything, it feels like it's almost stepped up in some ways. So that rally cry, I think, is real. And I think that we have the right quarterback to be doing it. We have the right coach, I know. I think we have the right defense, I know. Well, I think we have the right offensive line, I know. There's just a lot of things that actually play into this still working out, losing your starting quarterback, the guy that brought you here all the way. I want to step into the comments for just a second, my friend, and say hello to some of our posse members and maybe even future guests. I got Mr. Patrick Wiltsey coming in here saying, "Here we go," and aloha. Hello to you, Mr. Patrick Wiltsey. Thanks so much for being a part of the podcast, jumping in here over on Facebook, being a part of the conversation. Man, we're all worked up. We're all ready to go. I don't know. I'm anxious. I'm excited. I can't wait for this game tomorrow. And we're here. We're sitting on the eve of an AFC Championship game. It's fantastic to be here with all of y'all, including Pearl, who's coming in on YouTube. Hello as well. Got Mr. Roy Osborne coming in saying, hey, posse and everyone, it will be close. Who knows how this will play out? Stiddy in the city. Absolutely, man. Stiddy getting the rallying cry across Broncos country. Love it so much.
Pearl, and hosting this game, go ahead. I was just gonna say, hosting this game, this is like the Super Bowl. This is the best game you can host all year because, I mean, besides the handful of stadiums that are big enough for the Super Bowl, you're not hosting that. So this is the best game you can host all year. Is the championship weekend. So,
yep,
I expect it to be loud, and it's good. If you thought last week was loud, I expect it twice as loud.
Yeah, that place is going to be crazy. As Sean Payton says, might as well get out here, get loud Broncos country, because then you get 2 weeks off before we head to the Super Bowl. It's going to be really cold. Might have some light snow as well, says Pearl, giving us the weather report. It is going to be a little bit chillier. Sean Payton said, it's not Cincinnati Bengals playoff cold. That's the coldest game he ever had to play in. He talked about being prepared for a game up, I believe, in the Meadowlands, if I remember right, and getting all ready. And then it was like 30 degrees. And next thing you know, they're trying to cut themselves out of all this extra layers that they have themselves dressed up in. So it is a concern, but it's just as much of a concern for the other team as well. I think the Broncos are going to be prepared to go out there and handle the elements. Nice thing is, I guess they got some practice in outdoors, so none of the media got to see that.
Do you think that was a slip by Peyton when he said that, or was that a strategical move or whatever? I mean, because you talk to other guys and you talk to Boston guys and they try to use it as bulletin board material. And I honestly think it was. I don't know. I'm on the fence, but if I was leaning, I think it was it wasn't really a we're guaranteed to win this game type thing. I don't think so.
Yeah, I think it was more just a rally cry to this fan base, right? It's like, man, you might as well let it all out. Let it all out, put it all out there. This is the game to do it. Like you were saying, Jody, this is as close as you get to hosting a Super Bowl, especially if you're a Denver Broncos fan. You might have that opportunity if you live in Tampa Bay or New Orleans or San Francisco or the like, right? But you're not getting that opportunity, at least for a few more years, with the Denver Broncos. Uh, this is your opportunity to have the closest thing you have to a Super Bowl. Get out there, cheer on your team, because the next time you'll be able to do it is in 2 weeks. I don't think that was, hey, we're going to absolutely win. We're putting this one to bed. I do think, though, at the same time, Sean Payton not only tries to, um, uh, I think he projects confidence of his team through the media a lot of times.
He tries to
Like
bait you a
what
little bit, if that makes sense.
there's that too. I think he's I think he likes to play with the reporter sometimes as well.
Say
Uh,
something and it can go either way where he has an out. He may
oh
mean
yeah.
it like the small market team. He may have really meant that, but he also but he had an out with what his response was to it. So
Hmm.
I mean he's not stupid.
No, no, and like I said, I think a lot of ways he tries to build confidence for his team in the comments that he makes out there, in on the podium as well. Not just the
But
fan base, not
right.
just trying to answer questions, but like literally trying to kind of reverse the message back into the locker room.
But let's be real. I mean, from the very beginning of this season with Kay Adams, he was saying this is one of the 6 or 7 best teams that he's had, and he thought could win a Super Bowl. He said that from day one. He put the
Mm,
pressure on. We debated this early in the season. Did he put too much pressure on this team
mm.
when
Yeah.
when they started 1-2?
Yep.
But everything turned when they won that Philly game. It turned from that game on, and he's been right up to everything. Just like I'm not going to say a damn thing about running the football. Throw the ball 60 times. I don't care. It's gotten us this far. Who cares at this point? I don't, at this point, who cares?
Who are we to complain? Who are we
Right.
to complain? Patrick
Because
Wiltsey
someone
says,
did you see
"Oh,
that? Someone did call him out. I think Kliss called him out for, you said you were going to run the ball and you write it on your play sheet and then you don't run the ball. And Peyton was basically, he got on him like, we won the game and you're calling me out for how we won the game.
mm." I'll be honest, I missed it, so I apologize. Can't comment on it. I am going to comment on Patrick Wiltsey. He says for some reason the Broncos are hated. Let's give them a reason. Super Bowl City. I also got Peter Johnson. He's coming in with a big one, but he's coming in with some levity, my friend. He says I think I'm the only Broncos fan that has concern. The reality is the Pats defense is absolutely flying around the field, and the Broncos are about to start their backup quarterback who hasn't thrown a pass in a live action all year. And you're versing a team with a lot of momentum. Forgive me, but I'm worried. Uh, Peter brings up a lot of fantastic points, man. Let's just go backwards on this, man. Stiddy has not had a whole lot of live action. Even Sean Payton was talked about the callous of a quarterback that's really just taking practice snaps for a week and then is going to be thrown out into the AFC Championship. He talked a lot about the callous of this team, and that's where he's going to rely on this. In fact, saying as much as, and I'm going to say, if I can, quote unquote, I'm not worried about Stiddy in the game. I'm worried about everyone else, how they play, and that's the truth. Um, how much do you have to worry about it, Stiddy, his lack of callousness through the season that this Broncos team has had to go through, and now just kind of getting in there and getting the green start in an AFC Championship game?
I mean, obviously it's in the back of your mind, but I'm not worried for multiple reasons. When he came in for Russ, I thought he played well those 2 games. I think they said those 2 games he took 0 sacks. Um, and then preseason, the last what's he been here 3 years? He's played well in all of those games. To be honest, he probably outplayed Nix last year in preseason, and had Nix not been a first round pick and picked that high, he probably is starting for Denver last year. So
Mm,
I'm not worried about that. there's other things. I mean, he said in an interview this week he's not on social media, so he's not wasting his time on that. He's been here 3 years, so if he doesn't know the playbook as well as Nick's, he probably knows it better, just because he's been here an extra year. And then the big thing, well, two big things for me. One, this O-line is going to be healthy. Luke Wattenberg's back. You're going to have all 5 starters in there. They're the number 1 O-line in football. And to me, that's big. The Pats' number 1 pass rusher is out, Harold Landry. So to me, that's big, number 1. And then number 2, you have a top 1 or 2 defense. Those are the reasons that I'm not worried about it. I don't think there's going to be too much on his plate where he has to come back from 14 or 21 to try to win this game.
I hope you're right.
Oh, man. And Sean Payton. I'll put Sean Payton. I mean, that's a mess. I like Vrabel and what Vrabel did in Tennessee and different things, but it's not really a question. Denver has the massive coaching advantage on both levels, offense and defense. So
I'm gonna push back just a little bit, man, because I get what you're talking about, but I gotta address this defense, man. At least ask you a question on it, because this is the same defense that gave up 30 points in a victory just last week in the divisional round. That doesn't necessarily equate to the top defense that we keep talking about, and it's not like this defense has necessarily been trending in the right direction. Do you feel like you can still continue to lean on this defense and say that Stiddy won't be behind in a 10-point, 14-point, 21-point deficit, because this defense has shown that they can give up some points, they can give up some yards, and they certainly didn't shore up anything versus the run in James Cook and the Buffalo Bills after we thought this was going to be the biggest change from one year to the next playing the Buffalo Bills. What concerns do you have there for the defense, if any?
If New England can run the football, that would be one. But we've seen Buffalo do the same thing last year to Denver. This just might be Denver's kryptonite. Buffalo is, well equipped. They may have the best O-line when it comes to running the football.
Mm-hmm.
And they have Superman back there, so I mean, he was making plays. Now, if Denver gets 5 turnovers like they did last week, we'll see in 2 weeks in San Francisco, because the Patriots don't have Superman back there. They don't have Josh Allen, and all the good that I think Drake May has done this year. Who was he beaten that was worthy of anything? I mean, the Chargers are completely beat up, and they put 16 points on them. Houston, CJ Stroud, I mean, that's one of the worst performances as a quarterback I've ever seen, and they're within a score in the fourth quarter. So they beat Buffalo one time early in the season, and other than that, what's their big win? What is a team that impressed you? I mean, Denver has those type of wins. They beat Philly. They beat Kansas City. I know Kansas City didn't go to the playoffs, but they were in the Super Bowl last year. So they have those type of wins. They beat the Packers, who are a playoff team. They beat the Chargers, who are a playoff team. So I'm not, and I'm going to lean on Sean Payton. I'm going to lean on 2 things. This O-line is healthy. You have all 5 starters there, and Sean Payton. He's been there, done that, and someone had a stat the other day. He's got like almost a 700 win percentage with backup quarterbacks. So he knows what he's doing.
We'll find out. We're fixing to find out. Just to add more fuel to the fire, though, I'll say this: you can only beat the teams that they put on the schedule in front of you. You're right; their opponents weren't world beaters this year. Probably top 3 games. They beat the Bills early. They end up beating the Ravens. They end up beating who else did I have on here? Buccaneers.
I will say the Ravens might be the Ravens without Lamar Jackson.
Yeah, I hear you. I'm just trying to pick out their top 3 wins. Their losses did come to the Bills, playoff team, Steelers, playoff team, and their
And the
first
Raiders.
game of the year was the Raiders. So that was their 3 losses. I see Drake May a lot like Josh Allen. I'm not going to say he is. I wouldn't even say he's my closest comparison, but here's a guy that ran for over 500 yards on the season. He's backed up with Henderson, who ran for over 900 yards. You have Ramondre Stevenson, who ran for over 600 yards. They have, in essence, a lot of the same pieces and parts of what we just saw from the Buffalo Bills in place as the New England Patriots. Honestly, I think my best comp, if I was to put on Drake May right now, would probably be Daniel Jones, though. I see a lot of Daniel Jones in Drake May, and Daniel Jones has had successful seasons like we saw him doing with the Indianapolis Colts, but we've seen him also have seasons where he's struggled. He's a runner when he needs to be and can beat you that way, but he can also put the ball on the ground, which we've seen Drake May do as well just in recent weeks. So
You have 4 fumbles in the playoffs.
4 fumbles in the playoffs, and that's kind of what I'm talking about,
2 interceptions, I think. I think he had 1 against the Chargers and 1 against Houston.
And a total of 10 sacks. So, I mean, there is opportunity against Drake May, and that's where my comparisons kind of go. But I don't want to underplay what this Buffalo Bills team is, because I think they are from an offensive standpoint and from a defensive standpoint. I understand they didn't necessarily have to play their very best because of the way that C.J. Stroud imploded, and that goes for offense and defense for both of them. But I also look at the Chargers game, and they obviously kept the Chargers in check. And I know that the Chargers are a team that was awfully beat up, but it was also a team that gave us a pretty good, run for our money as well. You know what I mean? So it's all got to be taken into context. I agree with what Peter's saying as far as hey, let's not overlook these guys too. There's a lot of optimism, but we got to give them their due diligence. This is a 14-3 team.
No, I agree. I just want to see him, if he's put in the multiple situation Bo has, to come and get the game-winning drive or something like that. Can he do that? That's if he can do that, especially against RD, and he can do that, I will give him all the props in the world. I just haven't. And like you said, he hadn't been put in that position yet, so it's hard to do it when you're not in that position. But can he do that?
Yeah. I'm going to turn up the heat in my garage, and I'm going to have a party going to happen. Says Roy Osborne. I think we're talking about possibly partying out in Hawaii at this point. Better believe the Broncos will whoop butts of the Patriots 24-10, says Mr. Albert Mile High Dutchie, giving us our first prediction of the evening. Good to see you, Albert. We need to touch base and need to get a letter out to you, my friend. I know that for sure. 7 below here, says Mr. Roy Osborne. It was probably in the teens as we kicked off here for me. What's up, fellas? Go Broncos. That's my good friend Jeremy Dresser. Good to see you, Jeremy. Tuning in over on Facebook. Good, hope you're staying warm, my friend. And then a horseman. Let's go ahead and throw a horseman in here. Mr. Kenny Kirkpatrick says, good evening, everyone. One comment from me. Drake May put the ball on the ground 4 times last week, plus an interception. Win the turnover battle, and the Broncos are going to the Super Bowl, in my opinion. Sean Payton talked about
100% agree.
Yeah, and he talked about that before in the press conference. I'll get your 2 cents on that. He said, they went ahead and they looked up the stats, and I think it was 24 out of 25 Super Bowl winners were in the plus differential during the playoffs when it came to turnovers. The Broncos right now are +4 heading into this game after they were, their performance last week versus the Buffalo Bills, man. This is big. This is key. They're keyed into it. What is your expectations as far as turnovers in this game? And then got to welcome in a special guest that's sitting in the back there, and we're going to talk a little AFC Championship football as well.
I expect this D to make a couple turnovers. I expect him to get after the left side of the Patriots O line, Will Campbell, and I can't think of their left guard's name. Both rookies. Will Campbell's really struggled, and I heard it on multiple uh, different shows from some Boston people. I mean, he was hanging his head low, and he wanted off the field after that Houston game. I mean, he played horrible in that game, and now he's got, Denver's four, depending on if who dresses, they're four deep at pass rusher, and an elite one in Nick Benito. So he's going to have his hands full a lot, if not as much more than what he had last week. So I expect him to get right after him, and that's where you can change this game.
I agree, man. Not just an elite pass rusher, but a candidate for Defensive Player of the Year, Nick Benito. Also, a little bit of love. I guess we got to throw it over to Mr. Vance Joseph for Assistant Coach of the Year. He's has his opportunity to take home that award as well. Talk about award winning, though, man. You know him, you love him. Maybe he ships out some amazing Lion coffee to you from time to time. We were on to welcome in Mr. Patrick Wiltsey. Mr. Patrick Wiltsey, thank you for coming onto the show. Welcome to the Denver Bronco Roundup podcast.
No problem. Thank you so much. It's nice to see the judge live.
Welcome.
Yeah, he's very judgmental, so watch yourself on here.
Hey, no, that's all right. There's no problem with that. That's good. I don't do things like this normally because before in I was not so good with my comments. So, a little colorful. So it's good to hear somebody that has a little fire behind them.
A little bit of bite. Patrick, I thank you so much for coming on, being a part of the show, coming on as a guest. It's AFC Championship weekend. We're all psyched up. I reached out to you. I said, hey, man, give me a couple of topics if you came on to our show that you'd love to talk about. And you said, and I want to really nail this one, if you don't mind, while you're on here, AFC Championship history for the Denver Broncos. You brought it up, man. I'm going to let you roll with this. What intrigues you about the AFC Championship history in the Denver Broncos?
So many classic, runs. I mean, the Cleveland against Cleveland, that wasn't championship, but the drive, all the what was that one? The Jets? Wasn't the Jets one of them back in the day? I mean, you make the Super Bowl 4 times in 6 years, 7 years, but you don't unfortunately win any. And fortunately, Buffalo lost 4 in a row. So that made us look not near as bad.
Yes, I agree. I was right there with you back in those days, man. We always had Buffalo and their 4 in a row that they went to until we finally got over the hump. Jody, you were bringing up some AFC Championship memories as well, as we were kind of talking a little bit about this. What are your thoughts on some AFC Championship memories of this Denver Broncos in history?
When we host title games, we don't lose. I think they've lost one title game in 05 with Jake Plummer.
Right.
And that year when they lost to the Steelers, who went on to win the Super Bowl. Every other year they've went to the Super Bowl when they've been in the title game. Every year that they've hosted a game besides that championship game that they lost, they've won at home. So that all bodes well. And so, like he said, some memorable games, the drive, the fumble, Ernest Biner going in and he fumbled. You're down to the Jets kind of big and you come back in the second half and put them away. That last drive in Pittsburgh when him and Shannon Sharp are basically, they've said it now, drew a play up in the dirt. You go down and do a curl route and I'm going to throw it as hard as I can to you. You better catch it. Mm-hmm. They get the first down and they're going. And then beating the Patriots both times. The first one when we had an electric offense and one of the worst defenses, but we were beat up. I mean, we were down so many guys that year.
Yeah.
And then the 15 team, which reminds me a lot of this year, relying on the defense, the offense, inconsistent all year. Your quarterback now hurt. Just a bunch of different things. So, I mean, there's a lot of good memories, and I expect this crowd to be loud tomorrow. The altitude, the cold weather, a bunch of different things. And
Very cool.
like Sean Payton said, watch out. Watch out. He's going to have Stiddy ready. Stiddy's been in this offense 3 years. He's grinding. He knows. And I just go back to the end of preseason last year. I mean, he was legitimately pissed when they named Bo Nix a starter over him. So, and he let it be known.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, he's been working for this. So, I mean, optimistic wise, I'm probably like 95% that he's going to have a good game. So,
I'm going to hit the posse real quick. First, good friend Jeremy, just again, the quote unquote experts are giving the Broncos zero chance. Aren't giving the Broncos a chance, as he's saying. Yeah, I mean we're overdogs once again, gentlemen. 3.5 point overdogs heading into this AFC Championship game at home. Roy though is coming in, man. Talk about getting loud and crazy in Broncos country. Roy's coming in. Heck yeah, Patrick. Glad you're on. Got Miss Pearl coming in over on YouTube. Hi, Patrick, with exclamation points.
Hello,
Mr.
lady.
Kenny Kirkpatrick as well. Welcome, Patrick. Horseman, welcome in as well. So, I mean, you're a fan favorite already, Patrick. How about that, man?
It's awesome.
I want to get your thoughts, though, man, on this game. What are your thoughts? How are you feeling? I know a lot of Broncos country have rallied around Jarrett Stidham. A lot of like Jody came in here thinking the defense is going to be able to step up, help carry this team. What are your expectations? What are your thoughts as Denver Broncos are, I guess, nearing now almost 12 hours until kickoff?
I mean, I think we have an excellent chance because I mean, he was, like Jody said, he was the first guy they went after, for the backup. I mean, when you go looking for somebody, that should tell you, this guy's got whatever he wants, whatever he's thinking, and he's just been waiting. He's been sitting on that bench like, just revved up and ready to go, and he's been studying that book. I bet he could tell that he could yell something, they'll play at him in the middle of the night, wake him up, and he'd be, run left hook, bro. He'd tell you exactly what was going on. So I'm pretty optimistic with it. I mean, I love watching Bo. Don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to say, he's going to be better than Bo. I just don't think if we lose this game, it's because of Stidham.
Mm-hmm. Mm.
And I'll add something too. I mean, he went and picked Stidham up over, Teddy Bridgewater, Jameis Winston, guys that he had late in before he stepped away that came in and filled in for Breeze. So, this is a guy that he's wanted from day one over those guys that he had.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, well, and I've seen I think we're the only ones I've seen that are like, oh yeah, Broncos are good. It'll be all right. I mean, I've seen Miller and a couple of former players going, this defense is mean. So, I mean, they've obviously played. They know what's that side of the ball is going to be like for them. And I'm pretty like, it's going to be rough. I got to wear my good luck shirt. I got to wear my good luck hat. I got my good luck shirt this year. Every single game I wore that one you got me, Keith.
Aw.
Every single game I've worn that they've won.
That's awesome, brother.
So,
that's awesome. Well, that means that shirt's about worn out.
It's pretty close, but it's all right. It's all right. It does get worn all day Sunday, but it gets washed and hung up. Like, there's reverence there. It's.
Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it. I'm gonna just jump in really quick, guys, because I got to talk about our amazing sponsor. Our amazing sponsor now for I don't know how dang long, and that's Miss Pearl over there at Morgan Trinkets. Morgan Trinkets is your headquarters for Southwest Jewelry, Southwest Pottery, Estate Gold at wholesale prices. They've been doing it for 35 years. They were once a nationwide company, but now they'd love to do shows in northern Colorado, southern Wyoming, like maybe, just maybe, the retro show at the Longmont Fairgrounds on the 24th, which I believe is today. That maybe you're out there and checked out Morgan Trinkets. If you missed them, don't worry. I still got one more show that you can check out Morgan Trinkets. Ultimate Garage Sale, Loveland Fairgrounds, January 31st. Be there or be square. Morgan Trinkets for your headquarters, Southwest Jewelry, Southwest Pottery, Estate Gold at wholesale prices. Also, over on Etsy, just type in Morgan Trinkets Co., or you can check them out on eBay by typing in Pearl Heat as well. That is the vendor over there. Thank you so much, Morgan Trinkets. Appreciate all your sponsorship, including this championship season. Hopefully, we get to ride all the way to the Super Bowl. Gentlemen, one thing that I want, the next thing I just wanted to hit while I still had Patrick on here, we'll keep you on for this one more piece, buddy. I want to get your thoughts, man. What does Jarrett Stidham bring to the table as far as the unpredictability for the Patriots defense? Let's face it, a lot of people have been talking, maybe not a whole lot of tape. Now Sean Payton says there's plenty of tape, but let's face it, he's also trying to play a little coy out there. What do you expect as far as the Patriots and their ability to game plan versus Jarrett Stidham, a guy that doesn't have a whole lot of tape?
Well, I mean, there's not a lot of tape, but Dobbins not playing. So you know they're not going to try to rely on the run being everything in the world. He's going to see a guy breaking different and faster because that's what he's looking for. Whereas Bo seems to be so good in like what you call the schoolyard game, or, the backyard game. You're down by a touchdown, you're down by 10, whatever it is, and whatnot. And I think Stidham having to study the game is going to know, okay, they're showing me this front. We can do this. We can go here. We can go there. And he's going to know that enormous playbook that's, that wouldn't fit in the back of your car, He's going to know it backwards and forwards. And I honestly think he's going to be, this is his, his Oscars, his whatever, this is his show now. And I think he's going to be pumped and primed. But I think Payton's going to, reel him in and use that when they need it on the field. I'm excited. I think everybody's going to want to play well for him. I think they're going to, that receiver's going to, whomever it is going to, that extra cut, that little bit of oomph or something. I think they're all going to be putting it out there for him because they want him to do well too. If he does well, they do well, right? So
you're right. Great point, man. Great point, man. I want to get the judges' thoughts on this as well. But really quick though, Anthony is coming in. Anthony over on Facebook says he will win tomorrow because he's from backup quarterback of Tom Brady. Jarrett Stidham does have a very, I guess, more storied career from backup to Tom Brady to being that guy that Josh McDaniels wanted to bring when he went to the Raiders, to being that guy that Sean Payton, went out there and signed his first ever signing, and then re-signing him to the, most expensive backup quarterback contract out there. Jody, your thoughts around this, man? Do we get to, confuse the defense of the New England Patriots because of the lack of tape, or just because we've switched from our starting quarterback of Bo Nix to Jarrett Stidham? Does that help us at all, or are you kind of along the same lines of Patrick, man? It's the game plan, it's the playbook. It's not going to change that much. Of course, it's going to change some, but we're not going to see a whole different Broncos offense come this Sunday.
I mean, obviously it doesn't, I'm not going to say that it helps us because you're losing your starting quarterback who's been playing awesome, but there are things like we've talked about that I think Stidham does better than Bo. I think he will hang in the pocket longer. So you might see a few more sacks, but that also means hanging in the pocket. He might make those throws that are developing across the middle late where Bo doesn't. And there was enough tape that Josh McDaniels, when he was in Oakland, that he went and traded for him from New England. And there was enough tape that New England tried to get him this offseason. I mean, it was well known they wanted him back. So, I I mean, and I've said it, we've talked about it. I think he's a better pure pocket passer than Bo Nix. There are things that he doesn't do as well as Bo, but I think that's going to be the big thing. You might see a couple more sacks, but you're also going to see him hang in there, and some of those plays that are developing late as Bo's either checking down or getting out of the pocket, he's going to hang in there and make those throws. And he's got the arm to make the throws. If it's not as good as Bo, it might be a little bit bigger than Bo's. So,
yep.
And like Patrick said and everyone else, he's been here 3 years. He's studying this playbook. He knows this playbook. He's not on social media. I mean, he wants to be a starter, and this is his chance now, especially with how crappy this quarterback draft class is. I think he can actually go make himself some money and some different things. And it's a benefit to Denver because he's under contract next year. I mean, I'm hearing people say if he balls out the next 2 games, you could get a 1 or a 2. So, I mean, that would be incredible.
Would be incredible. It's been incredible having Patrick Wiltsey being part of this podcast. But Patrick, I'm not going to let you off the hook quite yet. I need 2 things from you, my friend. First, I need you to talk about what's in this cup. This would be Lion Coffee. And secondly, I need a prediction of this Denver Broncos game before you get out of here. But first, like I said, Lion Coffee. Tell me about this amazing stuff that is in my cup every single day.
Well, I don't actually make it, but I make sure everybody in the world can get it. So I mean, it's what I'm good at, is shipping it out and whatnot. And it's so easy. You go on the lioncoffee.com. We have Royal Kona coffee, which is 100% Kona. I think the one I sent you was original, or did I send you Vanilla Mac?
Vanilla Mac.
Vanilla Mac. I am not the biggest flavored coffee person in the world, but there's a couple of ours that we have at home, downstairs, So I mean, it's if you like coffee, it's a good coffee. It's solid. It's strong. It's never going to be different. It's very consistent. It's honestly, if I didn't work there, I'd still buy it. So I mean,
check it out.
I got to get some tea or something to Jody. I don't know if he doesn't drink coffee. I got to get. So we have tea and things. I can get some tea to Jody. Nobody's ever told me how. So
I'll have to check the website out. I haven't. I'll have to check it out for sure.
Yeah, no worries, man. Just let me know. Let Keith know, and we'll take care of it. Don't worry.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate that.
And we appreciate you. But like I said, one more thing before you get out of here, man. Tell me how this game breaks down. Please tell me about a Denver Bronco victory.
Well, that is my thought. I'm thinking somewhere along the lines of like 27-17, maybe 27-20, something in that range. That basically it's whoever has the ball last. And if we're holding on, then maybe we kneel down, whatever it is. But I think like Jody said, I think Stidham will hang in the pocket a little bit more. See that develop, where that guy gets that step late and he's been practicing, obviously. He can put it there. And, he puts it there, whereas we might not have done that before. If we could ever get a tight end to show up, maybe, we can get him to throw it in there. But honestly, I think 27-20, maybe 27-21, somewhere in that range.
Love it, buddy. Love it. AFC Championship, Denver Broncos heading on to the Super Bowl. 27. We'll call it 27-20. Patrick Wiltsey's official prediction. Patrick, thank you so much, man. Appreciate you jumping on here. I know it was just a little bit short notice, even though we were planning in the background, but I wanted to make sure that we were all set and prepared for you to come on here, share your thoughts and opinions. We'll look forward to maybe having you on here again in the future, my friend.
Anytime. I'd love to do it.
All right, man. Mile high salute.
Thank you.
Good friend, Patrick. Thank you so much. And go Patrick, go Lion Coffee, go Denver Broncos. Always good, man, to have a good guest because he's amazing. Patrick's an amazing posse member. And Patrick, just thank you again, man, jumping in here. Check out lioncoffee.com. Again, not just some shameless plug because I get nothing from Lion Coffee other than the amazing taste every single morning, evening, daytime, Sometimes when I wake up at 3 in the morning, maybe a little sip of lime. I don't know. I'm drinking it way too much. Man, that's why I'm all over the place, Jody. But it's fantastic, man. It's fantastic. Got Peter Johnson coming in here. He says Stiddy winning the Broncos the AFC title and then the Super Bowl will also be great for the offseason because someone will like the Browns will be dumb enough to send us 2 first-round picks and Myles Garrett for him. Well, I would probably sign up for that one, man. I love that, Peter, and I think that's exactly what you're alluding to. Jarrett Stidham does have the opportunity to increase his value and maybe just to win himself a starting job out there in the NFL, one that we just can't deny him of and be compensated because of it. Pearl's coming in. She's saying that the Broncos are going to win by 3 in a tight one, keeping me on the edge of my seat like the Broncos have done most this year. And I'll be on the edge of my seat. I'll be on the edge of my seat to come back for a pregame show tomorrow, guys. And then we'll be doing post-game as well. Hopefully we'll be talking about a victory. Thank you so much, Pearl, coming in here also saying great show. Great show for her as well. She was, again, up at Loveland and saying she had an amazing show for Morgan Trinkets. But don't worry, man. She at Longmont, Loveland. Now I'm getting them all mixed up. Those dang Loveland and Longmonts. She was in Longmont Fairgrounds for the retro show on this Saturday. She's going to be in Loveland next weekend for the Ultimate Garage Sale. Great show. Check them out. Morgan Trinkets. I almost said Trevor, man. I'm so used to Saturday night. My mouth's just going like it normally is. Jody, by the way, thanks for coming in here and for a guest spot, man. You've been like the podcaster of the week, man. Tuesday show, a Wednesday show, a Saturday show.
I don't know about that,
but we might see you back tomorrow at some point, I imagine. But man, we're getting all prepped and ready, man. I want to get your final thoughts. I think this is about where we're at. Anything that we missed, and then some final thoughts around this game. Give me a prediction, then we'll go ahead and get out of here, my friend.
Well, I'll just add a couple things that people may not have seen.
That's what I said. Things we missed. Yeah.
Dobbins out Sunday.
Yeah.
One thing I did find weird, Mike Kliss, and I don't know where he pulled this number. He said Dobbins is about 35% if he played.
Ooh.
I don't know where he pulled that number. I mean, he was on the field, and it sounded like from other guys. I mean, I know like Zach Stevens and some other guys are, more cheerleader type, but I mean, where he got a 35%, if that's really the case, and just shut him down and just be done with it.
Yeah.
So I found that a little wild. Troy Franklin questionable, Luke Wattenberg questionable, but they activated him today.
Yes.
All signs he should start, and that's important. And he was given snaps all week to Stidham, so I 100% expect him to play. Pat Bryant cleared concussion protocol, and he did it early in the week, so that must have been a very minor concussion because he practiced Tuesday and was full Wednesday, and he was cleared Thursday. So,
no symptoms by the next day.
Right.
They pulled him out of the game, so he was doing really well, really early.
And it's wild to think about that because I shared a clip in our private chat in, I think it was 98 when the Broncos played the Patriots in the first game. Shannon Sharp blows this guy up on a block, leaves the game with a mild concussion, and then he comes back in later. So just how things have changed. And that's how they said it. Left the game with a mild concussion, but did return. So I thought it was kind of funny.
And
then Elijah Moore and Michael Banny were brought up from the 53.
Pretty big.
Everyone else is, which kind of leads me to believe, and they did finally put Bo Nix on IR.
Yep.
So
that spot opened up, I think, with Wattenberg.
Wattenberg there. And then if I was to guess right now, I don't think Troy Franklin plays, and Bandy for sure, and you might hold someone back to bring up Moore.
Mm-hmm.
Just because you don't know where Pat Bryant is. You don't want in that situation like you were last week.
Yep.
And other than that, you're healthy. Your D's 100% healthy, minus Brandon Jones, who we've known he's out for a while. You're healthy. This whole line's healthy, and I'm ready to go. Patrick said one thing. He said maybe a tight end can step up. I'm going to go a different route. Maybe Cortland Sutton can step up. I mean, he had 4 drops. What I counted 4 drops Sunday. He had or Saturday. He had a couple big catches, but he dropped some 2 in one series and a couple that could have picked up first downs. He did not have a good game, in my opinion, and he really hasn't done anything. I mean, go back to the Kansas City game. He dropped in 2 plays in a row, touch passes that could have been touchdowns. He has not. I don't think he's hurt because he's not being listed. So maybe this is the game where I want to see him step up and, assert that number 1 wide receiver, take it back.
Like that. Peter Johnson. Go ahead.
I was just going to add, I'll give a final score probably tomorrow, but I'll add, hopefully this crowd is louder than last week. I know it's going to be cold out there, so be prepared for that, but get loud, do everything you can to disrupt Drake May. He's never been in a situation like this before. And he's got coaches that have been there. Variable's been to the Super Bowl, won multiple. He's coached in an AFC Championship with the Titans, and Josh McDaniels has been there multiple times. So, but Drake May is not. He has not been playing well. Get him rattled right away.
Yes,
that's what I want to see. Get out to a lead early and make him have to do some things differently.
Love it, my friend. Love it. I think that is a big opportunity for this Denver Broncos team. Get after Drake May, like you said. He hasn't been in this position. They've been able to play the home schedule up until this point, and now they got to come to Denver. It's going to be a crazy atmosphere. It's going to be a different atmosphere. It's going to be a mile-high atmosphere, and we should be able to, kind of flip the script a little bit. You know what I mean? With the way that we can get loud and turn those overdogs into victors once again. Peter Johnson, just bringing in one more piece of the puzzle before we get out of here. He says Mims needs to have a huge impact with his returns tomorrow. The shorter the field for Stiddy and this offense, the better. Special teams, man. We've talked about offense. We've talked about defense. We talked even about turnovers in this episode. But the one thing we didn't talk about necessarily was the special teams. Mims having a big day in the return game. This defense keeping short fields. Jeremy Crawshaw doing well in his punting, as he's done pretty well through the playoffs so far when called upon. Need to have the special teams. Can't be a letdown in any phase in the game when you're, let's face it, you are the underdogs right now. You aren't expected with your backup quarterback to necessarily be as competitive as you maybe would have been. You need to have all pieces firing, and special teams included. Marvin Mims, good call out, Peter.
And then I'll add one other thing. It's just a nostalgic thing. John Elway is going to be the honorary guy tossing the coin at the beginning, so get loud for that. I did hear Champ Bailey's supposed to be there as well. I mean, you're going to have all the guys already that live in Denver, and they're going to be there, but that may be your best defensive player of all time for the Broncos and Champ Bailey, and obviously that's your best offensive player of all time for the Broncos and Elway. So if that doesn't get you fired up to see John Elway out there, I don't know what will. Or if you're on the defensive side, I don't know what'll get you fired up to see Champ Bailey out there.
Does John Elway have a "this one's for Bo" moment? I don't know. Honorary captain. No, honorary captain. Go out there. He's going to be out there for the coin flip.
What would be awesome is Stidham balls out and gets player of the game, and when he's holding up the AFC Championship trophy, that's what he said. This one's for Bo.
And this one's for Bo. Gotta honor our posse members. Patrick's out there, says, "Oh, can you say hello to Danielle, my daughter?" Well, big shout out to Danielle. Thanks for listening to us. By the way, your dad's amazing, and we appreciated him having him on. sure, Danielle, you're just as amazing. Maybe someday in the future we can have Danielle on the Denver Bronco Roundup podcast talking some Broncos. Big shout out to you and big shout out to your dad, Patrick. Thanks for being on the show again. Mr. Graham coming in here a little bit later saying, hey, all happy AFC Championship Eve. And boy, yeah, the Pats flew in tonight. I thought he was saying this pod has flown tonight because that has also been the case. Pats flew in tonight, getting ready to go. We got to get ready to go, man. I'm not going to give you my prediction as well. We'll be back tomorrow. Plan is for a 10:30 a.m. pre-game podcast as we get all ready to go, because I think is that what I said? No, maybe it was 11:30. 11:30. I'm sorry, 11:30 a.m. Anyway, if you're following us on Facebook, I promise we'll put out a little advertisement telling you exactly what time we'll be on. Maybe some other horsemen on the screen as well, as we get you all ready to go, man. Right before kickoff, want to get you all psyched up. 1 p.m. kickoff time for the Denver Broncos. Cannot wait, Broncos country. It's been a long season, been on the edge of our seats. If you're like Pearl, we're going to be on the edges of our seats tomorrow as well. I'll be on the edge of my seat.
This is what we waited for all year.
Yeah, it's what we waited for. It is what we waited for. I'll be waiting for you all, though. Again, be back to you tomorrow morning, pumping out a pregame podcast. Get all your final thoughts, get all the final news and information before Broncos go out there, get that AFC Championship. But it is time to get out of here. We'll do it like we always do. Make sure you keep those boots in the stirrups, guns in the holsters, and, of course, Denver Broncos right there in your heart. Until next time, we're out of here. Mile high salute. Good night, everybody.